Hello, hello. Today I have Greedy by Marty Sears and Isamuk. That latter name I'm actually not familiar with, so we'll see how this goes. Although I'm very familiar with Marty Sears' work, so I feel like I have some idea what's in store. This was submitted by viewer Christian Ray, though it doesn't take much arm twisting to get me to try a Marty Sears involved puzzle. So let's just see how it goes. There are a lot of rules, a lot of line rules in this puzzle. So I haven't listed them all out in the little card above my head, but hopefully, if you've been watching, you understand these rules. But I'm gonna go over them now in case you're not. So normal Sudoku rules apply. That's the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every marked 3 by 3 box. Once each, no repeats. And then there's a modifier to that. Well, I'll do the modifier in a second. Let's go over the line rules first. So we've got Nabner lines. So Nabner lines have to have a difference of at least 2, not just on adjacent digits on the line, but on all digits on the line. Same differences have the same difference between these 2 digits and these 2 digits. So let's find a longer one. Every adjacent digit on a particular line has the same. So for example, this might be 6, this might be 5, 4, 3, something like that would work because the difference here is 1, the difference here is 1, the difference here is 1. I could also do 3, 5, 7, 9, right? Let me just quickly take off my pencil mark, checking. Now these have a difference of 2 always, and that is fine as well. So that's how same difference lines works. But and if this were, say, 3, 5, 7, 9, that doesn't mean they all have to have a difference of 2. This could now be, say, 2, 3, 4, something like that. This could have a difference of 1, while this has a difference of 2. That's totally fine. Okay. And then we've got German whispers. So on a German whisper line, adjacent digits have to have a difference of at least 5. So let's say this were a 4. This might be a 9. This would have to be less than 4, right? 1, 2, or 3. Although with this, I would know it's a 3 in this case, right? So you can kind of go through and do that line. And then we have kropki dots. Adjacent digits along a white dot have to be consecutive. So if this is a 1, this has to be a 2. If this is a 1, this has to be a 2. If this is a 3, this could be 2 or 4. Doesn't matter which way it goes. And on black dots, they have to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So that works with 1 and 2, but also works with 2 and 4, it works with 4 and 8, and it works with 3 and 6. So that is how black kropkis work. And now we have this modifier, which is the greedy modifier. It's kind of a take on the copycat modifier, I think. But I've not seen this particular, it's like copycats mixed with vampires, I guess. Anyway, so the greedy cell says there's going to be 1 greedy cell in every row, column, and box. Let's say I had one here, call it red. Then this greedy cell, the value here, and by value, what makes it important is the value for all of these line and dot clues. So the value that's being used in all these line and dot clues is going to be not just the digit in here, but this digit plus the digit that's 180 degrees rotated from that spot. So if this were the greedy cell, then this would be the cell it takes. And let's say this were a 4, and this were, say, a 9. Then in this particular cell, I have a 13, not this cell, right? This does not necessarily have to be a greedy cell just because this one is. But if this is a greedy cell, I mean, they could both be greedy cells, right? You could have a situation like that. And they'd both be 13. But if this is a greedy cell, then this value would be 13, although that's not on a line, so it wouldn't even matter. So let's say here, this could be, say, a 4, and then 180 degrees rotated from that is here. And let's say that's a 9. Now this is 13, and then I could in fact do something like 6, 7, 8 here, which you normally couldn't do on a German whisper from this 4 because it's really a 13. That would be fine. Okay, so those are all the rules, I think. And in greedy cells, there's each digit appears once in a greedy cell. So, there might be a 1 in this cell, in this box, greedy cell. I mean, let's say the greedy cells were here. That's not going to work. Can I do this on the quick? I think so, yeah. So say these are all the greedy cells. These greedy cells make a disjoint set, essentially. All the digits is this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Something like this would work for the greedy cells. So those are all the rules. And now let's try to do it. So I'm immediately drawn to these German whispers, but perhaps I shouldn't be. I mean, the reason I'm normally drawn to things like this is normally 5 can't go in a German whisper. So I might be able to place a 5 here, and then in this box, I could put a 5 here. Now, the problem in this setup is that the 5 could be a greedy cell, right? I could put a 5 here, make it greedy. I don't know that I'll use red. In fact, I probably won't. Make it a greedy cell. And then if, this is say a 9, now this is a 14, and this could be literally any number. It wouldn't matter at all. So that would be fine. Or I hadn't thought about this till literally as it said the word or. This could be a greedy, say 6, right? Put a 9 here, and now I can put a 5. Oh, I guess I couldn't put a 5 here. So I could do a greedy 6 here, right? And then I could put a 5 here, and now this 5, which normally can't go in a German whisper, is fine because it's next to this greedy cell, which actually takes a value of 15. So. But we still might be able to do something here because why? I was thinking because at least one of these is all non-greedy. I don't think that's going to be enough to get us somewhere. What is that going to do? Well, no, because I was thinking like I could do this pair is 1, and then I 2. So one thing to note about German whisper lines is ignoring the greedy constraint for a second. These are going to alternate between high, low, because let's say this were a 6. Well, 6 would have to go to a low digit. In fact, it'd have to go to 1. Even if I had to pick a higher digit like 9, these are going to go between the digits 1 to 4, which are all less than 5. And when I go higher than this, I have to go above 5. Now that all goes out the window when I get a greedy cell in there. But I was thinking, well, okay, this, either the greedy cell's on one side or the other, so I can say this is a high-low pair, or this is a high-low pair, and this is 2 highs and a low, or 2 lows and a high, and do something along those lines. But this could be a greedy cell, and then these could all just be different things. Like these could literally all be high cells. Well, I guess they could all be 5 plus. And then this could be a high cell and these low, and that would be fine. So, but maybe this kropki chain puts some limit on that. Like these are, I mean, if I include 5 as either high or low, these are going to be the same type generally. But I could switch, I mean, this could be a 5 and we could switch types here. Yeah, so this isn't that helpful actually. So let's look at these Nabner lines. I think I noted, I didn't say this out loud, but as I was thinking about trying to give an example for the Nabner and realized that it can't be done. And so I just didn't give one. But what's going on with this Nabner line is without greedy cells, the longest that a Nabner line can possibly be is length 5. Because let's say I were to draw a Nabner line like this, right? And let's suppose there were no greedy cells. The only way this works are if these are a unique combination of the digits 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And the reason that's true is, well, suppose not. Suppose I have an even digit in here somewhere. Let's say I put a 2 in here. Now the problem with an even digit is an even digit from the other four digits that have to go on this line. This 2 takes away 2 as a possibility. It takes away 1 as a possibility, and it takes away 3 as a possibility. So every even digit takes away 3 different digits from the possibility space. And that leaves only 6 digits left to place on 5 different cells. Now, in general, you might still be able to make this work if I had the right 6 digits, right? So suppose I had the digits 10, I mean 10 is not a digit, but suppose I had the number 10, 5, 3, 1 as possibilities. That's only 6, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? That is, 6 different numbers that could work on 5 digits, 5 placements. But on 4 placements, sorry. I could do 10, 5, 3, 1 there. But the problem is here, however I do this, whatever even digit I pick, I have an even number either higher or lower than that, and an odd number above it. So in the case of 2, I have 0 below and 6 above. And there's no way to fit the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no way to take 4 of them and have them be evenly spaced apart. Because as soon as I do this, what's the best I can do? I can put a 4 here, which is the closest I can get to 2. I can put a 6, which is the closest I can get to 4, and 8. And then I have to get to 10 before it runs out of space. So, I don't know. Maybe this is obvious and I don't need to go. It's kind of actually hard to prove it without lots of case checking, but I think it's clear enough that that should work. So the point is, my greedy cell has to be on this Nabner line. So and more importantly, I'm going to have the digits 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 on 5 of these 6 digits. And the other one is going to be a greedy cell that's at least 11 in total. But that means these 3 cells are both not greedy. I'm going to use green for not greedy. And they're even. Whoops. Right, they're even as well, because all the odd digits are on this line. And I can do the same thing down here. This is also a length 6 line. So on this line, I've got the 5 odd digits. I've got the 5 odd digits, the greedy cell, and which is even, and sums to at least 11, and that's it. And so these 3 cells are not greedy and even as well. Oops. Sorry, I keep doing the wrong thing. These are not greedy and even. And that means these are all odd, which means on this box, they're not greedy, because the greedy cell here is the even that's not taken up here. And on this black kropki dot, it can't be 5, 7, or 9, so it'll be 1 or 3. 1 would pair with 2, and 3 would pair with 6. And here, this is going to be, well, this can't be a 1, actually, because I have 2 2s here. So this is a 3. This is a 6. This could be 2 or 4 still. I can get rid of 3 on all these. And now here. So this is so, I mean, I guarantee Marty put this in. The next step here, I'm sure this is supposed to be the next step, is that along a same difference line, if you go every other digit, parity of the value is preserved. Now that's impossible here because this is even and this is odd. So what that tells me that this is actually a greedy cell. And I'm going to use this pink. No, let's use purple. As, oh, that's kind of hard to see with blue. I'm going to make it pink. This pink cell has to be greedy, because if it's not, there's nothing I could possibly put here that would be the same difference between an even number and an odd number. There's just no way that can possibly work. And one way to think about that is, if I go from here to here, I'm doing one of 2 things. Either I add some number and then subtract the same number, or subtract then add. But either way, you get to the same digit that you started with, which has the same parity as itself. Or I add or subtract the same number twice. And if I add or subtract the same number twice, that's going to preserve parity, because I'm essentially adding or subtracting an even number, because 2 times any number is going to be even. So these digits have to have the same parity. Since this one's not greedy and it's even, I know the value of this has to be even. And since it's odd, that means it's greedy. So none of these are greedy. And that's going to be really interesting for this box now. Maybe not, actually. No, it's the opposite of interesting for this box. Sorry, for some reason I clicked something that made me, I thought I wanted to change the color here. And it further means that this is odd. Oh, look at this. So before getting into these, which I may be able to do something here, but I'm not sure yet. This now has to be odd, because this is going to take this digit. This is what's 180 degrees rotator on the center from it. So these 2 digits have to add together to be even, but this is odd. So this is odd. The only odd digits that can go on a kropki without greedy cells are 1 and 3. This will again be 2 and 6. Now here I do have more possibilities here. Well, it can't be 1 actually, because if this is 1, this is 2, but then this has to be 1 again. So this is from 3, 5, or 7. And I get actually, oh, and since this is on a kropki dot, actually this is just a 3. So this is a 3, this is a 1, this is a 2. And that's a 6. And this is not a 3 because I already have a 3 here. So this must have a value, I have to be careful. It could have a value of 3 or a value of 12. But either way, it's a greedy cell. So let's mark that as greedy. That's step 1. I almost said it had to be 12, and it turns out it does have to be 12, but I jumped to that conclusion for a second. I thought it couldn't be 3 because 3 was taken, but this could in theory be a 2. It can't be a 1, but it could be a 2 that adds 1 to it over here. But since this can't be 1, that is ruled out as a possibility. So this is 4 or 8, and it takes 4 or 8 to get to 12, so that it's double 6. So that's the only possible thing that can go here. And that finishes this. These are my odds. I guess they're not 3. These are not greedy now, which means they're odd. This is, I have to be careful here, because I don't know that this isn't greedy yet, but I don't think I can put 5, 7, or 9 here. Like, if I try to put a 5 here, this can't be 2.5. It could in theory be 10. Yeah, it could just be 10. I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking of doublers at that precise moment, thinking, well, this has to be a 5 double, but as a greedy cell, it could be a 9 plus a 1 or something, and that would be fine. So I can't rule out any odd. I can rule out 1, I guess. None of these are 1s. Yeah, but this could be a greedy. I guess this can't be 9. Because if this were 9, this has to be an 18, which will only work with 9 plus 9. But I can't have 2 9s next to each other. So that's not a 9. But this could be a 7 with a 6, 8, or 5, 9 pair in the greedy cell in this component, if this is greedy. And of course, this doesn't have to be greedy. If it's not greedy, it's going to be a 3, 6 pair. Now what? These aren't 1. Oh, and this is a 4, 8 pair now. Which means this is a 2, 4, 8. Look at that, which makes this a 4. Or I said a 4, 8 pair, pointing pair, which means this can't be 4 or 8. So that would be 2. The only thing left here was 4. That made this 8. And then this has to be a sum of 12. So that's 4. And now I can probably do something here. If this is 5, this would have to be 6, which would be 5 plus 1. So that doesn't work. If this is, I think 9 is not going to work. So if this is 9, this would be 13, which doesn't work. So this is a 7. This has to be 10, which makes that 9. That's a 5. I did something bad. This has to be a 1 now. I think I eliminated 1 from all these erroneously. I don't know why. Let me just back up. I don't think it'll take long to redo that. I think I was supposed to move 3 from everything. Why did I remove 1? I think I just had a moment of confusion. So I don't use that for anything. So I'm just going to redo everything and put the 1s back where they can go. Well, in fact, that's just is a 1, so I don't even need to. Yeah, I don't think that's going to mess anything up. Now this has, since nothing's greedy, if that's a 4, that's a 5. That's an 8, that's a 7. So there's not a whole ton of choice here. I bet that's going to be a 5. I might want a 5 here, though. I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. 2, 1. Okay, now the greedy cell in here is not 8. Oh, in fact, this is just a 2, 8 pair. The greedy cell in here is 6. So I'm going to mark as a corner line this 6, which can't go in either of these. No, it can't because it's greedy. Never mind. Well, it can't go here. So this can't be 6, because if this is a 6, the greedy cell it would take is this 4, which is 10. Now that would make this even, but whichever of these 2 cells are not the 6 are odd. Which means if this is 6 and that's 10, this is going to be odd, and then I have that same problem with different parities here. So that's not a 6, but this could still be 6 because this would take an odd digit, so this would be odd and that would be fine. I need a 1 here, but I'm thinking, I can have a greedy 1. I can have a greedy 1. Yeah, I think I could have a greedy 1. That'd be fine. Well, maybe that means this can't be 1. So if this is 1 and it's greedy, it's even. But this, that's why, no, I was wrong before. I made a mistake. This could be 6. I was thinking that meant this had to be greedy, but this could be greedy. This could be a greedy 1 taking a 5. That could be a 6, and then this could be either 2 or 8 because these are the same digit. So they're clearly going to have the same difference from it, or the same value. Sneaky, 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 sneaky. Okay. Now I probably have to turn to these, but this, I think it's going to get complicated. How do I get 3 in a row here? That's kind of hard, actually. Especially if this is 5. So because these aren't greedy, I mean, this could be greedy, which could potentially confuse things, but these 3 cells are not greedy. So they are just 3 digits in a row. So if this is a 5, that gets rid of 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7. The only thing this could be is 6, 7, 8 in that case. And then I could just put a regular 9 here. No, I couldn't. I could even put a regular 5 here with a greedy cell here, potentially. Sorry, I'm trying to think through how this works. It's not, but I feel like I'm on the right path there. I think this is going to be a 7. I don't think a 5 is going to work, but I can't quite see it yet. So if this is a 5, this has to be 6, 7, 8 in some order. Well, it becomes 3, 4, so that's fine. Actually, hold on. If this is 7, no, I think 7 doesn't work. Wow, no, I'm completely wrong. That's gonna clear this up. This can't be a 7, because if it is, where do I put 8? 8 has to go on a white dot somewhere, and it can't go next to a 7 or a 9 because those would both be taken. In fact, I mean, that's just a way to think. 8 has to go on one of these dots, and wherever I put it, I need to put a 7 or a 9 on the row in this row next to it on the dot. But the 9's taken, so it has to take a 7. So one of these is an 8-7 pair, which means that's 5. And now I know this is a 6, 7, 8, so that's 7. This is 6, 8 in some order, and this is 3, 4. That is incredible. I really thought I was going to go the other way, but then I have to think about it for a bit. Like an 8 down here for sure. 6 up here for sure. This can't be a 6 because the greedy 6 is up here. So if it were a 6, it would just be an actual 6, which would not be 5 away from these. So one of these is a 6. This could, in theory, be a 6. This could be a really high sum. I was going to say this has to be 3 or 4, but it could be a greedy cell summing to 3 or 4 or 12 or 16. Okay, what about this? This is either 5 or 9, or a greedy cell that with this cell sums to 5 or 9. Okay, hold on. Down here, I need to have an 8 and a 7, which are probably going to be these two. But how's that going to work? Okay, hold on. I think my greedy cell is going to have to be down here because I don't see how I get 7, 8 on these lines without a greedy cell. So let's suppose, yeah, straightforward. Suppose there's no greedy cell here. I have 2 high digits, and that's not greedy either. So the only way I can have 2 high digits on a German whisper line is if they are different by more than 2, which means I can't have these 2 on a line or these 2 on a line. I mean, if these are all not greedy, then these 2 are the same type, high or low, and these 2 are the same type, high or low. So this is a different type from both of these. I have a 7, 8 pair here. But since I'm assuming in this world that there's no greedy cell, this is a 7 or 8 that's not greedy, which can't go next to a 3 even, let alone a 4. So there has to be a greedy cell down here, not here. So none of these are greedy. which means that this can't be the 6 anymore, because if this is a 6, I would need to put a 1 here as the only non-greedy possibility, and then the 1 would break on this 3, 4. So I do get my 6 here. I also could have seen that you need a greedy cell up here because, oh, hold on. I need a high cell somewhere on here. There's no greedy. Here's 6 and 8, so this is 9. And these are therefore from 1, 2, and 4. How is this now going to work? If I have a greedy cell on either of the ends now, then that greedy cell, then the other, so if this is greedy, then these two will need a high digit and I have none left. If this is greedy, these two will need a high cell and I have high digit and I have none left. So this has to be greedy, which means these are not. And none of these are high. If I just put a 5 here, that would make things quite simple. But no, the 5 has to go here actually, because this now, because it's not greedy, it's either 8, 7, 6, 5, which is what it is, or 6, 7, 8, 9, which it can't be because I already have the 9. So that sorts this out. This now tells me that this digit has to be somewhat high, because this has to be at least, this can't be 1. I mean, this 5 means it can't be a value of 1 to 10. I mean, it could be 10 with this 5. It can't be 1 to 9 with this 5. It can't be less than 1, because 1, even if it's 1 and 1, that's 2. So it's at least 2. It's not 1 to 9 because that would conflict with the 5. It's not 10 because that would conflict with the 6. This is at least 11. So even if this is a 4, which is the highest it could possibly be, this has to be at least a 7. So this is in fact a 7 or 8 only. Which means right, these are from 1, 2, 3. Oh, it can't be 4 even. So this is, I mean, in fact, this is an 8 and this is a 3. It's the only way it works to get to 11. Because I can't put a 9 here. Now, can this also be greedy? It can't be greedy now because of that 8. So this is not greedy, which means that's the 3, that's the 4. That's not greedy, so it has to be a 9. That's not greedy, so it's 1 or 2, but that's also just true by sudoku. This is now a 7 with whatever's missing from 1 or 2. Could this be a greedy 7? That'd be 12, which is not quite big enough. 8 plus 4 is 12. 8 plus 5 is 13. So if this were greedy, if this were 7, it'd have to go up to at least 13. This would be at least 6, which it is not. So this is my 7. And this now can't be greedy because this is 1 or 2. And so if this is greedy, what's going to happen is it's going to add 5 to it, which would make the value 6 or 7, which is not going to work with this 8. So this is not greedy. This is. And now I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 for my greedy cells and 3. So these corner boxes have 1, 2, 4, and 5 in them as my greedy cells. This is 8 or 9, which is not going to help with this. So this has to be from 2 or 3 because it can't be 1 by sudoku. So now, this is a 4. And this is not greedy, so this is from 1 to 4, but not 1. This is 11 still. That's going to make this kind of complicated potentially. Well, it's odd, so this has to be odd, and it's not 3, 7, or 9, so it's 1 or 5. Because it's not greedy, so I can't make it even and get something else. So if this is a 1, this has to be 6 total, but it could be a greedy cell summing to 6. I almost said it couldn't be 1, 5, but because it's not pairing with something else in the box, it could be. It could. So this, if this were greedy, it would pair with this. So this could be a 1, 5, 5. That setup, I think, works still. And if this is a 5, this has to be 8, which could just be a straight up 8, or it could be a greedy cell adding up to 8. So either one of those, I think, is okay. For now, at least. I haven't thought about this yet. So this is now even, which is not so exciting. It's odds that It's even by that same trick of 2 across the same difference line. Now, you might normally think this can't be a 6, but if this is greedy, because if this were a 6, these two have to have the same value. Oh, no, they don't. I'm full of it. That is absolutely not correct. This could be, I mean, ignoring these for a second, this could be 6, 9, 6, 3. Ignoring this. But what I think is true is that this can't be 6. I think you can't have a difference of 0, 3 away without some really intense stuff. So if this is 6, I mean, the problem with this being 6 is what difference do you use? Because you're either some difference, you're adding and subtracting some difference 3 times. So by the time you get from here to here, you're adding or subtracting the same difference either 1 or 3 times, since they're an odd number of spaces away. So you can't have a difference of 0 unless your total difference is 0. But if your total difference is 0, that means these are the same. So this is not a 6. Actually, do I get a hidden single? It could be 1. It can't be 2, 3, 4. It could be 5. It can't be 6, 7. It can be 8. It can't be 9. So can this be 8? Then the difference here would have to be 2, I think, because, yeah, and then this would have to be something that, a greedy cell that adds up to either 4 or 8, which is possible. It'd have to be 1 and 3 for 4, or a lot of choices for, actually not that many choices because 6, 7, 8, 9 are taken. It could be 1, 7, well, that wouldn't work. It could be, well, it doesn't matter. 1, 3, well, 1, 3 doesn't work because I can't put a 3 here. Hold on. This interaction with the kropki actually might make this interesting. I'm thinking I'm going to be able to get rid of 8 here as a possibility, but I can't quite see it. And if I get rid of 8, I get a 1, 5 pair, which is nice because I'll get all these even digits here. How would this be an 8? I couldn't do 8, 4, because I have a difference of 4, and there's no way to have 0 or 2 differences of 4, take 4 to 6. So, and it's even worse if I try 6. So if this is 8, this is 6. This has to be, so the difference is 2. This has to be 4 or 8, but it can't be 4 or 8. So it have to be a greedy cell that sums to 4 or 8. If it's 4, it very clearly would be 1, 3. But that doesn't work because this cannot be a 3. Even if it's a greedy cell, well, this can't be a 1, 3 pair, put it that way. Because if it is, then this is either value 3 or value 4, neither of which is double this. And so, I mean, this value has to be 6, 10, or 14. Where the value of this cell has to be double. It can't be half this because I can't get to I can't get to 1.5, 2.5, or 3.5, even with a greedy cell. So this value is 6, 10, or 14. 1 and 3 can't get you there. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, it's easy. It's easier. It's easier than I'm making it. If this is a greedy cell getting to 4 or 8, then if this were a greedy cell, oh, but this could just be a 6. But if this is a 6, this would have to be a 2, which it can't be to make this 4 or 8. So this cannot be 8. That seems a little too complicated for Marty, but it's like a good just-in deduction. And by complicated, I mean it's like too look-aheady. I think he likes to have, you don't have to do, well, if this is this, and then you do this. But like I like that kind of deduction, so I'm going to use it. So this has an odd value. It doesn't mean it has an odd digit, though, unfortunately. Although the only even digit I could possibly put here is 6. So can this be 6? I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but can this be a 6? What would that mean? I don't know. If this were a 6, what would that do to this? I think that would mean this is not greedy because, no, it could be greedy 8. No, okay, that could work. Well, no, so if this is 6, it's got to be greedy because I can't do all zeros. Again, because this is not a difference of 0, I can't have a difference of 0. So if this is a 6, it's not greedy. Sorry, if it's a 6, it is greedy. But that means since this value is odd, that means this value has to be odd, which means this is also greedy. But since this sum will be odd, this sum will be odd, and it's not going to be 6, 10, or 14. So this can't be a 6. This is 1, 5, 7, or 9. So it does not have to be greedy now. Although, how is this going to work? 6, 7, 6, 5 seems quite natural. Yeah, because I think a lot of other things are going to have some problems. Unless this is greedy, right? So if this is not greedy, it's 7. I think that is pretty clear. If this is not greedy, then 6, 9 would be a difference of 3, which is, so I'd have to go down from 9 by 3 is 6, and then down from 3 by 3 would be 3. That doesn't work. 6, 5, I couldn't go back up to 6 because I need another 5. I can't have 2 5s. So I have to be 6, 5, 4, but then this has to be 3, because this is 5 already, and it can't be 5 or 3 if this is 5. If it's 6, 1, oh no, 6, 1, 6, 5 works actually. So, no, sorry, that does not work at all. If this is 1, this is 5. 6, 1, that's a difference of 5. I have to go back up to 6, and I have to go back to 1 again. That does not work, yeah. So if this is not greedy, it's 7. The problem is it could be greedy. And I think if it's greedy, I mean, this really wants to be even. In fact, it really wants to be 6. In fact, does this just have to be 6? In fact, I think this can't, oh no, it could be odd and greedy. So my choices here now are, it's just a 6, just a plain up 6, or it's an odd greedy digit. But those odd greedy digits would have to add up to, I guess there's a lot of choices for how that could work. Yeah, this could be 3, 7, 5. It could be 1, 5, 3. I guess it can't be 5 or 7. Could it be 9? Yeah, because 14 is an option. 9, 5. Well, hold on. I have to be careful, because if this is greedy, it's odd. And that means, because it can't be, because this digit's odd. So if this is greedy, this value is even. So if it's greedy, the digit in the cell has to be odd to make the value even. So if it's greedy, it's odd. But if this is greedy, that means this isn't, because this value has to be odd. So these can't both be greedy, is what I'm figuring out here. If these are both greedy, because this has to be odd, this has to be even. So they cannot both be greedy, because that would make their, the parities just don't work. Because if these are both greedy, they're the same value, because they see each other. I love this, by the way. Like this whole, I don't know if this is intended, but I love this, looking ahead to these being the same. I think this is so neat. So if this is greedy, this is not, therefore it's 7 by the logic we just did. So if this is greedy, that's the 1, 3, or 9 possibilities. It can't be 1, because 1 plus 7 is 8, which is not 6, 10, or 14. It could be 3, right? It's going to be 3, 5, 7. That's still possible. 9, 7 is 16, and there's no 8, so it's not that either. So this is 3 or 6. And this can now no longer be 7. And I think one of these has to be a 3 now. Is that right? If this is 3, clearly that's 5. If this is, wait, can this be 5, 6 is the way to think about that? And the answer is no. Because if this is 5, this would be 10, be a 6, 4 greedy. So if this is 3, this is 6 ungreedy. If this is 5, this is 3 greedy. So there is a 3 in one of these two spots. But I still can't, that doesn't get me close to the next digit, so I think I'm on the wrong track here. Oh, it's just so sad, because I thought that was so good. Okay, what about here? I want to say these are odd, but this could be a 2 with 4 or 6. This would be a 2, 4, 6 triple. Oh, no, 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 no. These can't be even. Look. Between these digits, the only odd they could be is 3. So because there's only one odd, at least 2 of these, and possibly 3 of these, are even, which means at least 2 of these are even. 8's the third even. There's only one, potentially one more even. So these are odd cells. Um, 3, 5, 7. Yeah. I don't know. So then, what about the, how is this going to work? Yeah, not knowing whether these are greedy, I think makes this really hard to figure out. Oh, sorry, this is 4. Does that help me? Because this is a difference of 1, and 5, 8 is not a difference of 1. I have this 8 here. Wow. Did I have this 8, which could have given me this 5 instead of the complicated? I think no. I think I got the 8 later. No, I don't think I did. Hold on, I'm going to back up because I think I did a very lovely deduction that I did not need to get that 5, and I just want to see for my own curiosity. Yeah, 100%. This is just 4, and that's 5. Look at that. Wow. But I like my deduction better, and I hope you do too. I mean, yeah, whatever. Okay. So, I just don't know where I'm supposed to look next. One is definitely in here with this digit, whatever that is. This, wait, why did I think the 6 had to be greedy? Oh, right, because it's on the Nabner. I thought I had a panic attack that the 6 could just be with, I was thinking for the same difference line, the 6 could be with a greedy. Oh, that's why this can't be 6. Because you can't have an odd greedy digit here. The 6 is greedy because of the Nabner. So this can't be a 6 because the 6 is greedy. Whatever the 6 is here, it's greedy. And it's taking one of these cells. So this can't be the 6, I guess, for 2 reasons. One is on this same difference line, I'd have an even and odd. But more important, or the same importantly, this 6 plus 4 is only 10, which is not 2 away from 9, which is definitely on this Nabner line. So this can't be 6. And now, does that mean this can't be 1? No. Can this not be 1? No. Wait, hold on. No, I think this now can't be 1. If this is 1, this can't be 8, because I have to go back to 1, which isn't going to work. Oh, wait, hold on. 1, 8, this could be 15? No, because this can't be 6. So if this is 1, 6 is up here, and these are both odd digits, like natural odd digits. So if this is 1, and that's 8, this would be, I mean, it has to have a difference of 7. It has to be 15 or 1, both of which should be disallowed. So if this is 1 and this is 2, now this could be 1 or 3. It can't be 1 because I have the 1, but it can't be 3 because I have a 3 here. So this is not 1. And I think by the same logic, this is not 1, right? Except now, no, this could be a 6-9 pair. This could be 1. I can't get 1, 2, 3, but I could get 1, 8, 6, 9, which means that's probably what it is. Hold on, how is this going to work? So the digit that's not 1 or 6 is 5, 7, or 9. So 186 seems to work well. What happens if this is 1? If this is 1, that's definitely 6. And this is 5, 7, or 9. This is 5, 7, or 9, and this 6 is with 5, 7, or 9, but a different one. So this is 13, 15, or 11. 11, 13, or 15. 11, 8, 5. Doesn't work. because these would both have to be 5. Well, it's 13, 8, 1, but we're assuming that's 1. So if this is 1, this is 6, this would have to be 2. No, but that's way too different. Yeah, I think this can't be 1, which would be absolutely wild. Is that right? Hold on. How does this 1? If this is 1, this is 6. Which means it's pretty big. It's at least 11. I'm trying to think of a simpler way to see this. Because I basically just case checked every possibility and none of them worked. But there's got to be a generic reason this can't work. So if this is 6, I mean, the reason 5, this 6 couldn't add to 5. So first of all, if this is 6, this can't be 2. Because 11, 2 is a difference of 9 already, and it can get bigger if this gets bigger. So I have to go back up to another greedy digit, which just doesn't work. So if this is 6, this is 8 for sure. And so my possibilities are 11, 13, 15, which from 8 lead to 5, 3, 1. And if this is the 1 and this is the 3, the only thing that could possibly work is 5. But the problem there is 5 is the same in both places here, so that doesn't work. So this can't be 1. This is my 1. That's incredible. And now that means 1, 2, 3 doesn't work because this can't be a 3 and it can't be a 6 greedy. So this is now 8, which means this is a difference of 7. So this is 1 or 15. It can't be 1 because a greedy 6. And it can't be 1 and it can't be a greedy 6. So this is 15, which is greedy 6 with 9. That is wild. I cannot believe that works. And now this is not greedy, which is going to be big because this is now 11. So if this is 5, 8's in the middle. If this is 1, 5 had been right. And it can't be 5, so that's 8. That's 5. One of these is now a 9, but I don't think that's very helpful. Oh, these aren't greedy. How long have I had that sitting here? Wow. I am a doofus. So this is a 6. That's a 3. That probably would have made everything so much easier. Which means this now can't be greedy because this is even. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. This has to stay odd. Yeah, that which is good, which is what that would do if that were greedy. Okay, ignore it. But this is a 6, so like, could this be a 9, for example? There's no way, because 9 and 6 is 15, which makes a difference of 7. Difference of 9. So 6, 9, we have to go back to 6, and then a difference of 9, which doesn't work. So this can't be 9. I think 7's got the same problem. This has to go back down to 6. And then that can't be a difference of 7, so that's not. Oh, no. This can be 7 if it's not greedy. 5, 6, 1 works if that's greedy. 1 could be greedy. And that would be 7, 6, 5 works as well. Wait, does that mean this is 6 in every case? Let me think about this for 1 second. How would this be 2? Well, if this is not greedy, then it's 6, 7, 6, 5 for the reasons I've already laid out. If this is greedy, this can't be 7 because that's 13. That's going to be too big. If it's 5, that's 11, and we get 6, 1. If it's 1, we get 7. 6, 7 is a difference of 1. We got to go to 6. This is a 6. Any way you slice it, that's a 6. Which means I get a 6 up here. And then what? I wonder if I need a greedy cell here now for my even odd. Like I have 3 odds and 2 evens. So if there's no greedy cell, it's either 6, 8, which actually could work quite naturally. In fact, this is just a 6. by sudoku. Do I have another 6? Yeah, sorry, this is the 6 by sudoku as well. And the 6s are not greedy because I already have a greedy 6. And so this is a difference of 1. So this is also 5 or 7, which means this is from 2, 3, 4, not 4. So that's 4 from this 2, 3 pair. And now this difference of 1 means this could be 8, quite naturally, 6, 7, 8. It could be 4 with a 1 adding to a 3 is not possible. So it could just be a natural 4. So sorry, this is 4, 6, or 8. If it's not greedy, it's just an 8, which I'll put back in a second. If it is greedy, how would I get 4? Well, 2, 3, and 4 taken, so it has to be a 1, and 1 would have to take 3, but this is the cell it comes from, which already has 3 taken. So it can't get to 4 greedily. If it's a 6, we can't use 2 or 4, so it has to be 1 or 5, which means this has to be 1 or 5, but those are also both taken, so that doesn't work. So this is value 8 either way. To get to a value of 8, I can't have 4 or 6 or 2 or 3. So 1, 7 is possible. 2 is not there. 5, 3 is not possible because 3 is gone. 6 is obviously gone. And 7 is obviously gone. So this is 1 or 8. 1 if it's greedy, 8 if it's not. Okay, not sure. But if I have a 5, 7 pair, so one of these is a 5, one of these is a 7. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing where to go next. Next, I go to, it's probably Sudoku. Let's just go through the Sudoku. Well, there's not really anything to do with, no, nothing with 1s, nothing with 2s probably. Maybe. No. I get a 4 in here. That's really it. Oh, look at that. 1. Fortunately, this still could go either way. But that's now 8, so it's not greedy. Which means one of those is greedy, which means those aren't. Yeah, this is probably going to be a greedy 5, because that's the more fun way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. 5, 7, that's 9. I get a 5, 7, that's 7, that's 5. It is the greedy 5. Look at that. Look at that. Which just does that. I don't need to do anything more with that. So now these are from 2, 3, 8, and 9. That's kind of restricted. This is even by this kropki dot. It can't be 6 or 2. So by the 2 away from the paradigm, this is also even, which is 4, 6, 8. So that's a 2. What I've left for greedy digits? 1, 2, and 4. So, okay, this is kind of an interesting deduction. I either need a greedy 1 here or a greedy 2 here, because the greedy digit here is either 1, 2, or 4. But it can't be 4 because of this 4. So my greedy digit here is 1 or 2. This is the other digit, whatever that is. So I get a virtual 1, 2 pair here. So this can only be 3 or 9. Yeah. And the other one goes in here as well. I thought that would give me more, but it does not. I need a 1 down here, but it could go anywhere. This could be the greedy 4. I'm thinking, where's my greedy 4? It's one of these. hold on. This is value odd at least. And it takes this one, which is even. So this is an odd digit because it's either not greedy, in which case it's odd, or it is greedy, in which case it adds this even digit, so it still has to be odd because the value has to be odd. So this is odd. This could be 1 plus 2 is 3, gets us to 4. That works okay. I was thinking, where's my 3? So I'm definitely going to get a 3 in a corner in one of those two spots, but I don't know which yet. Two, 4. Okay, how is this going to work? If it's greedy, it only adds 1 if it's greedy. Okay, that is interesting. So if this is greedy, it only adds 1. So if it's greedy, in fact, if it's greedy, it's a 4 because 1 and 2 are taken, and this greedy cell, the greedy cells I have left are 1, 2, and 4. So if it's greedy, it's a 4. But 2, 5, 8, that works perfectly. That's probably what it is. If it's not greedy, it's odd, not 1 or 3. 5 could go to 8. But this just can't be 4. This is an 8 because if this is a 4, this has to be value 3. And I can't get 3, and I can't do 2 and 1. So this is an 8. Which means that's not 5. Which means that is 5. This now, if it's greedy, it could be 1 plus 8. That's still allowed. 5 plus 2. Well, 5 can't be greedy. 5 can't be greedy because it's already greedy, and it's not adjacent to 8. So that's not 5. This could be those just 7 or 9 naturally. So now this is value 5, which is either just a 5 or a 4, taking this 1. Those are my choices. Interesting. Which means this difference is 3. So this is also 5. Hold on, so I have yeah, but this takes a different greedy cell, though, is the problem. This takes this one, so this can't be greedy. Okay. Hold on. Yes, this is just a 5, because this difference is now established as 3. So this difference is 3. I can't get to -1, so this is 5. It can't be greedy, because plus 7 means this would be -2, which doesn't work. So this is just a natural 5, which makes this a 4, which gives me the rest of my greedy cells. And these are now a 1, 2 pair. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the green. Somehow that's worse. I don't know why. Okay. So these two cells are different, which gives me the tiny deduction, but this is not 1. This is not 1. So my 1 is down here, because this sees both 1 and 2 from different directions. So that's not 1. This is clearly not 1. Oh, this is not 9 either. 7, oops. What was this, 5? 1 is down. What are my other digits? 3 and 9. So that's just a 3. I do get a 3 in the corner here, which I already knew because it was one of those. So this is a 1, 9 pair, like this. This... Actually, I have 3 3s in corners because this 1, 2 pair is both 3s in value. So I bet this is going to be 3 too, knowing Marty. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. That's a 9, that's a 3. Marty's the only person I know that could put 4 3s in corners in a puzzle. This is a pointing octuple, which is a 3. I have 2 or 8 in here. Wait, is this a 4 is gone from here? So that's my 4. This is a 2 8 pair. That's a 1, meaning that's a 2. That's 1, 2, 1. 3 gets down here. This is now a 1 4 pair. This therefore is a 2 8 pair. No, not a 2 8 pair. What is this? Oh no, it's a 9. That 3 points to there, which gives us the, oh nope, this is wrong. What is this? This is, hopefully, I'm not sure what I did, but it's just Sudoku, so I'm not too worried about it. I mean, this could get determined many different ways. Wow, it took a while. Okay, for a 3-star puzzle. So not my best solve, but I really enjoyed the puzzle. So thank you, Marty and Isamuk, for setting this up. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye.